What's up, you guys? How you doing? So this is, I was tagged in a How I Met Mother video. So first and foremost, happy birthday, Mother, aka James Colwell, aka Milan Trejoy, aka Spill It Boy TV. You got a whole lot of personalities, bruh. How I Met Mother. So I never used to use YouTube for anything other than work-related activities. So I didn't even know anything about it. Somebody said something to me one time about Funky Dineva. Matter of fact, I had seen Funky Dineva on the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion, and I was like, who is this? And a friend of mine who watched Funky Dineva was like, oh, that's Funky Dineva. And I was like, who is Funky Dineva? And so that's where I started watching reviews, was through Funky Dineva. But if you guys remember, for a while there, well, even still, and this no shade, no disrespect to Funky Dineva, you know he can be a little inconsistent. So I would be going there to look for his reviews for Love, Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, and it wouldn't be there, or wouldn't be there for a week. And so I started, they start populating people's suggestions after a while. So then I started seeing these suggestions, and James Colwell popped up in my suggestions. Well, at that time, that is when him and Justin J were beefing, right? So I was like, who is this person? And what is this? Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but one of his thumbnails from one of those videos was a cow, and it was like, got beef. Another one was him sitting there with some sunglasses on, honey, on that couch. Like, and y'all know how Mother serves face, right? So I was like, who is this? And so I just started watching a bunch of videos. Where I was working at the time, honey, I had time. So I just started watching a bunch of his videos. And from there, I started really following him. Realized that he was into, drag, with Drag Race and stuff like that. And I really got into a lot of his other stuff, like his Ask James, his story times, and stuff like that. So then, when I actually met him in person, I was going to Pittsburgh. Me and one of my best friends, she lives in Indianapolis. And we usually meet up at least once or twice a year. We travel together. We do stuff together. This particular year, we had not seen each other in a while. And neither one of us knew. She's in education as well. So our spring break actually overlapped. Like, her spring break started before mine. And mine ended after hers. But we had like a little weekend in the middle. And so we were like, look, we don't really have a whole lot of money to do a whole lot, but let's meet somewhere in the middle. And so even though it was a little bit further for her to drive than for me, we met in Pittsburgh. So when I realized that we were going to meet in Pittsburgh, I sent him an email, and I was like, look, I'm not no stalker or nothing crazy, but I'm a fan of yours, and I would love to take you. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh for a couple of days, and I would love to take you out to lunch. I was like, we can go somewhere public so you don't think I'm crazy or nothing. And he didn't respond to my email. And I was like, okay, he probably think I'm like some stalker or something like that. So I went into one of his lives. He used to go live that much. And he happened to be live that day. And I went into his live. And y'all know how his chat be moving. And I was like, did you get my email? And he said, yeah, I did get your email. He was like, that would be great. That's fine. So when I got to Pittsburgh, I think we had emailed. He ended up emailing me his number, I think. So when I got to Pittsburgh, I texted him and I was like, I'm here. I'm not sure what your weekend is looking like, but let me know and I'll plan. Because I'd never been to Pittsburgh before, so we were going to do stuff while we were in Pittsburgh. And he ended up meeting us at the casino. We went to the buffet, and it was him, myself, and, my best friend, one of my really good friends, who she didn't know nothing about him. She didn't know nothing about YouTube. She didn't know nothing about nothing, honey. And when I tell y'all, we sat at that damn buffet. We sat from lunch to dinner. Like, it carried over. We were there so long. And we just talked. We talked about everything. I mean, so much and everything. And we had such a good time. And we laughed. And so later on that night, I texted him. I was like, thanks again. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much for meeting up with us. I said, do you mind if I text you from time to time? Like, is it okay if I keep your number? I never assume these things. I said, is it okay if I keep your number and I text you from time to time? He said, you better. And I had just started my YouTube channel. I think I had only been doing videos for like 2 months. And from that point on, whenever I had questions or didn't understand something or wasn't quite sure about doing different things, I would ask him and he would answer. And so our friendship just built from that, and our relationship built from there. And I started calling him, that's when I started calling him mother. I started calling him mother after I met him, after we started building a relationship. And I was like, I'm your child. I'm claiming it. You my mother and I'm your child. Like, he was like, okay then. And from that point forward, he started calling me Little Treasure, and that's how I met mother. So happy birthday to you. I hope this is a great birthday for you. I hope that you are somewhere right now getting your bingo on or your birthday party on or whatever it is that you're doing. And I love you so much. And you know how I feel about you. And you know all that you have done for me. And what is understood does not need to be explained. Love you.